Tell me about Networked Councillor. Tell me what it is and why it exists.
Okay, so Networked Councillor came out of a series of conversations between myself and the East of England LGA, born out of my frustration of being asked to do Twitter and social media training. Because however many times you show people how to use a tool, that doesn't really help them become better communicators online. And elected representatives face a lot of challenges online, and Networked Councillor has been designed to not just show them how to use the tools, but to help them understand who they want to be online, what audience are they interested in, how do they build networks, how do they become really good communicators online. And at the back of that, and underlying the whole programme, is that's about how do you adjust to the fact that the world is operating quite differently. How do you start to work in more digital and networked ways? So it goes beyond communications into a different relationship with the public.
What makes it particularly important at the moment?
Local government is facing more, sort of bigger disruption than it's ever faced before, and we're going to have a fundamentally different public service at the end of that process. And if we don't equip members to be involved in that and to understand the world in which we're trying to design, is that they're not going to be able to make good decisions about the future of local government. So I believe that Networked Councillor is a way of helping them to understand the landscape in which they're operating, so that they can make better decisions. And as we go forward, we know that we want to have a more co-productive relationship with the public. We know we want to encourage more active citizenship. And Networked Councillor is a very practical way of helping elected representatives understand what that can mean and what their really vital role is in delivering that.
What makes a Networked Councillor different then? Could you explain that in a bit more detail?
So the way that we describe this in the programme is that, and this is based on the research, is that a Networked Councillor's got four very distinct qualities. And the first one is open by default. And we talk about this as not, about thinking in public. So being open by default is about sharing the work that you're doing, sharing how you're forming your decisions, being open, being transparent. It's about building trust, but it's also about making yourself accessible to the public. The next quality would be digital. Not digital in the sense that everything's online, but digital in the sense of digital culture. Do you understand why crowdfunding works? Do you understand how people self-organise online? Do you understand the way in which people operate in a digital and networked society? Third quality is networked, and that's very much about thinking through what it means to be operating from a place of network power rather than hierarchical power. How do you build, maintain networks? How do you become massively relevant without making yourself a gatekeeper? So that network behaviour. And then the final quality is co-productive, because we believe that there's a strong fit between the way the world's changing and those co-productive qualities, but also that a Networked Councillor will be forming solutions with people rather than just telling them about decisions that they've made in private.
And how do you make a Networked Councillor?
Well, lots of councillors are already networked. Actually what's been really interesting is that there are a bunch of people who are not comfortable with technology who already have most of those network behaviours. They just need showing that the way in which they're working is relevant in a digital world. But for others, people who are afraid of technology, people who know that they feel they need to do it but they don't feel comfortable with it, we take them through a process which starts with helping them find the natural home for them online. Different communication styles need to use different platforms. Not everybody needs to be on Twitter. Actually helping them find the place where they can create their digital home, where they feel safe and they can manage their digital presence. And then working with them to understand the network that they're trying to shape, understanding how to meet people in that network, how to find them, and then also helping them deal with conflict. And also, and as we're working particularly with a whole council, is to help them shape the nature of the civic debate that they want to see online, and how do they reinforce a particular tone, a particular type of content.
And what would you say to people who perhaps come into this thinking it's just training, social media training?
First, is that just showing people how to use Twitter does not. I land on Twitter a lot, but it's Twitter and Facebook. Showing people how to use the tools doesn't help. Social media training should show you the technical details, but that's not what people struggle with. People struggle when you set up a Twitter profile or a Facebook page. You struggle with figuring out what picture should you put up, what's your avatar, what signals are you sending. When you set up a blog, you worry about what's the photography. Does the choice of font matter? These are all social signals online. This is all about being digital in a cultural sense. So Networked Councillor is much more about understanding the behaviours that you find online and how you use those to form better relationships with the people that matter to you, rather than just showing you how to click here and tick there.
How do people find out a bit more about Networked Councillor?
So I'm hoping on the video, this is a video, I'm hoping just down below the video, there'll be a link to the website where we're blogging about the project. We've got a hashtag, we're using Networked Councillor, but we're using CLLR. And you can always just get in touch with us. And I'm very findable online at Curious Sea. So yeah, give us a shout.
Brilliant, thank you very much.